Metroplex, it's ESPN College Football presented by Hulu. Friday night lights highlight a high-stakes affair in the American Conference between Memphis and SMU. If the Mustangs win out, SMU will play in the conference championship. If Memphis wins out, the way the tiebreakers work, the Tigers will play in the conference championship. Good evening, Anish Shroff alongside former Pitt quarterback John Congemi. Tonight we get a chance to watch one of the most exciting players in college football, Memphis running back Darrell Henderson.
Well, he's explosive, and he's able to get those big yardage plays either between the tackles or on the outside. He has 9 of those of 40 yards or more. So he's one of those guys that can just break a 5-yard play and turn it into a 50-yard touchdown. And he does it at top speed. He hits the line of scrimmage, and he's going at full speed. And the one thing I really like about him, he knows how to finish runs. When he gets to that second level, he will make a safety or a linebacker miss, and he'll find his way into the end zone. He's second in the FBS in yards and touchdowns, and he's averaging over 9 yards per carry. So this is the guy that's going to get fed tonight for the Memphis Tigers.
Soft, shy, quiet, soft-spoken off the field. We spent some time with him last night. On the field, he has ravaged defenses all season long. You mentioned second nationally in rushing. He's done that in 70 fewer attempts than Wisconsin's Jonathan Taylor. Memphis won the toss. They defer, so SMU will receive the opening kickoff. Sonny Dykes, first-year head coach for the Mustangs. Dad Spike, a longtime head coach at Texas Tech, and Sonny's team, after an 0-3 start, has figured things out. They're 5-2 in their last 7 games. And for Mike Norvell, a homecoming. Grew up in Irving, just outside of Arlington, used to go to Cowboy games growing up. And SMU will bring it out to the 25-yard line. We mentioned this Mustang team got off to a rough start, 0-3. Ben Hicks, the quarterback, the school's all-time leading passer and leader in touchdown passes, was benched. Enter Will Brown, the backup. The coaches thought he would run with the opportunity. He got a little dinged up. Hicks was able to re-enter the fold, and he's been a new man since. SMU 3-1 in their last 4 games, and now with 2 games left in the regular season, a chance to play in the conference championship. First play from scrimmage, Ben Hicks had the snap go over his head, able to recover, and then throws incomplete toward the near sideline. A wild start. We welcome those of you who are just watching basketball at Madison Square Garden. Iowa knocking off UConn. An inauspicious start for SMU.
Well, this snap was hot, and it gets over the head of Hicks, and he has no chance. He did a really good job of getting on the football and being able to throw it out of bounds. So a very difficult start for the Mustangs on offense.
And it just gets worse on second down. Hicks taken down by Jonathan Wilson, his 4th sack of the season. So it turns into 3rd and Arlington right away.
2 negative plays right in a row for the Mustangs, and that's the one thing head coach Sonny Dykes wanted to stay away from. They wanted a quick start. They wanted to get the football out on the perimeter, but they're going backwards here early in this first possession.
SMU needs to get to the 35-yard line for a first down. With John Congemi, I'm Anish Shroff. Roddy Jones is down on the field. SMU has won 5 of 7 after an 0-3 start. If the Mustangs win out, they'll play for the conference championship. Reggie Robertson, the West Virginia transfer, fighting through tackles, and about a yard shy of the first down marker, a big gain, and it's 4th down.
What a great effort by Robertson on the edge, right in front of the SMU bench, and that offense is going to stay on the field in 4th and short.
What do you make of this call, John?
I like it early. You're 5-5. You're trying to get 2 wins to be at the top of your conference. You want to start out with some confidence early. No way to do it here on 4th down.
On the ground, it's the short yardage power back, Kamen Freeman. and able to move the chains. Not quite the way Sonny Dykes and his offensive staff scripted the opening. Ball snapped over the quarterback's head, a sack, a 24-yard gain, and a 4th down conversion.
A couple of negative plays, but the quarterback was able to convert on 3rd down, at least get him back in a manageable 4th down situation, so it keeps the drive alive.
Braden West in the backfield. Hicks rolling to his right and finds Robertson, who makes the catch in plus territory. Reggie Robertson, the West Virginia transfer, banged up the first half of the season, has been healthy of late, and the production has been there. Touchdowns in 4 straight games.
And that's the thing. He's been able to be available to his quarterback, Ben Hicks, and that's one thing you need. If you're trying to go to Prochet, you need somebody else to throw the football to.
Keep it on the ground here. It's West, and he's close to an SMU first down. Part of the early season struggles for SMU had a lot to do with health, banged up on the offensive line. 2 of their running backs, Xavier Jones and Kamen Freeman, were not even close to 100%. And now down the stretch, you've got Braden West, who's fresher because he hasn't had to carry all of the load. Jones is healthy, and so is Freeman.
And now you've got Freeman. He's the bigger back on 3rd and short.
Freeman coming off back-to-back 100-yard gains. Breaks a couple of tackles and falls backwards for a first down inside of the 40.
Good awareness by the junior running back. He started going laterally, a little east-west running, but he knew he was past the sticks. He only needed a short yard as the tempo goes for the ponies.
Memphis having trouble getting lined up. Freeman able to get a yard. Freeman in September and October, only 15 carries. But in the month of November, in just 2 games, 37 attempts, 223 yards.
They're starting to string some plays together. You go for it on 4th down, 11th play of the drive. You get a little confidence with that offensive line. You're waiting for Ben Hicks to find that open receiver down the field.
Tyler Page motions. Hicks stands in, wounded duck, was batted. And it's 3rd and long again, but that seems to not really be a problem so far in this opening drive.
No, it doesn't really make Hicks flinch a little bit early, but that was good pressure in the pocket, good edge rushing by Dorcius.
SMU needs the Memphis 28.
Short side of the field, that's where James Prochet is lined up. You may get a little pressure here from Memphis on 3rd down, but that's your playmaker to the short side of the field.
55, Bryce Huff, the best pass rusher for Memphis. Here comes the blitz. Hicks is hit, and down he goes on cue. Huff with his 7th sack of the season.
Well, I think he's perfected his one move that he's been working on all season long. That's what defensive coordinator Chris Ball told us last night. Great speed on his first step, and he's able just to blow by Jalen Thomas and find quarterback Ben Hicks. Terrific job of using his hands, strong at the point of attack, and gets that sack on 3rd down.
Jamie Sackville, the Australian, to punt it away. And Pop Williams signals for a fair catch. Not the type of drive you often see. 12 plays, 31 yards. You're watching the American Conference on ESPN. And a titanic weekend for the AAC. Memphis SMU tonight. Both of these teams have a shot to play in the league championship. Memphis has won 4 straight, and they've put up silly numbers in the last 4 meetings. 66 points against SMU last year, 51 in 2016. The 2015 game was a 63-0 win. First down, Memphis going vertical. DeMonte Coxie into SMU territory, staying in bounds, still on his feet, and finally subdued at the 25-yard line. A 62-yard gain on Memphis's very first play.
Welcome to Dallas, DeMonte Coxie. Double move from Brady White, a little pump fake on the outside. Watch the hesitation, a little slant and go, and he's right by coverage of Jordan White. Perfect throw by Brady White, right on the money. An explosive play for Memphis on first down.
Coxie north of 1,000 yards on the season. This one is batted into the air, and it lands harmlessly incomplete. Broken up by Rodney Clemens. getting a little chippy between these teams. And we told you some of the scores in this matchup the last few years. Memphis has had a few lopsided wins, 4 straight wins in this series overall. First carry for Darrell Henderson, second leading rusher in the FBS. And out of bounds after a short pickup, pushed out by Kevin Johnson. You're going to watch Henderson tonight. A cold fusion of force and finesse.
I love the way he presses the hole, and that's a great example of a short 3-yard run, but that could have been a negative run in the backfield. He pressed the hole. He's got great acceleration and speed at the line of scrimmage.
Third down, that's intercepted. Patrick Nelson, the grad transfer from Illinois, his second pick of the season, and SMU gets it back.
Brady White with a great throw on first down, explosive play, but he comes back and throws one right in the breadbasket, gives it right back to SMU.
Second series now for Ben Hicks and this SMU offense. Hicks floats one down the seam, contact, and a flag as the pass was intended for Robertson.
Pass interference, defense number 4. Automatic, first down.
I like the aggressiveness of SMU. They're going down and attacking this Memphis secondary. It was the left hand on the back. This is where this formation with double wide on the outside numbers, run pass option for SMU.
James Prochet with the catch on first down. And a stiff arm out of bounds across the 35. If you missed the Houston game last night, Major Applewhite went to Ed Oliver, who was wearing a jacket, told him to take it off, then took the jacket off. Oliver, when the team was going into the locker room at halftime, had a few words with Major Applewhite. He wasn't happy. The issue was only starters, only players who are playing are allowed to wear a jacket on the sideline. Oliver has not been playing, and that was the result of the dust-up. And, it's one of these incidents. Sometimes you can't legislate emotion, and it's one of these incidents. People see it, people tweet about it, and it gives people, the platform to spew a hot take.
Well, the optics weren't good.
No.
You're taking a look at your head coach and your best player, who's one of the dominant linemen that have played in the last 10 years.
Robertson had it go off his hands. Robertson, excuse me, third down.
Those are throws that Ben Hicks can't miss. Those are taking points off the scoreboard. If you put a little bit more air on this football, Robertson's going to walk into the end zone.
Guys, SMU so far in this game has done a fantastic job of finding favorable matchups. That's the second time Reggie Robertson has gotten matched up one-on-one against a safety. And then on the last drive, on that 3rd and long, Braden West had the mismatch on a linebacker. SMU has done a fantastic job of finding the matchups. Now they just got to execute.
To put a bow on the Oliver story, Memphis plays Houston next week. They'd be curious to know if Oliver's going to suit up. Wide open, Prochet. Finally forced out by Wyndham, but a first down and a gain of 17 for the junior from Dallas. And now some words between Wyndham and Prochet.
If I'm quarterback Ben Hicks or offensive coordinator Rhett Lashley, I'm looking at James Prochet, and if they're not going to double cover him, that's where I want to go with the football.
Hicks moves to his right. Going right back to Prochet, his 4th catch, and they seem to like that matchup, John, against Wyndham.
They do, because it's an easy pitch and catch on first down. They haven't had a lot of success on first down, and when you don't do that or you get a negative play, offensively you can't go fast, you can't go with tempo, and that's right where offensive coordinator Rhett Lashley wants to live on first down.
If you're watching, they move Prochet all over the field, boundary field, and now he's in the slot.
This is man coverage. This is a great opportunity to light up the scoreboard. Prochet top slot, field side. That's where the football should go.
Hicks downfield. That one is broken up by Carter, and a flag. Throwing it again, this time in the direction of Robertson.
TJ Carter tries to go up over
2.
Robertson.
15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
And he must have got got him with the back, his body into the back of Robertson. He's going to go up and try to get this at its highest point. The left hand's on the collar. That's where the tug, that's where you get the penalty. Yeah, that's an easy call for the official right there.
Substitutions for SMU. Memphis now getting lined up.
This is where they love the fade route. Love the fade route top of the screen here to Reggie Robertson.
Hicks look that way, now looks off, throwing high. He wants Judah Bell, who took a big hit. Josh Perry got in there for Memphis, no flag this time.
It looked favorable to the outside, a lot of traffic on the inside. I'm sure if Ben Hicks gets that look on second down again, he may want to take his one-on-one opportunity outside the hash and towards the numbers. That's where he has the size receiver in Robertson.
Hicks has thrown the ball 17 times in this opening quarter. This is the 27th play of the quarter for SMU. Crochet in motion on the ground. And this is West. And Braden West carries inside of the 5, 3rd down, and 2 to go.
You know, you mentioned about West not being 100% a couple of weeks ago, and now that Freeman and Jones are back, he has that little burst, that wiggle that you expect from the diminutive back at 5'11", 185 pounds. So good job on second down to get them to 3rd and short.
I know it's early, John, but this Memphis defense has been on the field
a
lot already.
But their winning word counts. They haven't allowed SMU on the scoreboard.
The give to West, cuts it back, and then brought back by Jackson Dillon, the 6th-year senior making his 40th career start. Dillon out of Ringling, Oklahoma, which is named for John Ringling, one of the 7 Ringling brothers. 4th down and 2 now.
I think you need some points.
Yeah, I was just going to say,
head coach Sonny Dykes.
SMU has been like that writer who can mark it up beautifully but can't punctuate. Let's see if they get some points here to take this into the end of quarter number 1. Kevin Robledo, 9 for 11, perfect inside 40. And Robledo's kick is good. SMU gets on the board. The Mustangs in this opening quarter have run 29 plays. You look at the stat sheet, you would think SMU should have had more than just 3 points, and that's a 3-0 game with 22 seconds to go in the quarter. Robledo to kick it off. Tony Pollard has 6 kick returns for a touchdown, so they don't kick it to him. It's a squib, and Memphis covers it up at the 41. On 1st down, that is Patrick Taylor getting the call. For all the talk of Henderson, Taylor's pretty darn good in his own right. Averages more than 5 yards per carry, 6'3", 220-pound running back.
Well, it's a big change when he comes into the football game, that is for sure.
Brady White moving the pocket on the run. Finds his tight end. That's Joey Magnifico. And Magnifico down after a gain of 11, a 1st down, as we reach the end of what was a frenetic opening quarter here at SMU. Got a little chippy even before the opening kick. 3-0 Mustangs, a high-stakes affair in Big D. ESPN College Football presented by Hulu. A lot on the line for Memphis and SMU. If either of these teams win out, they would play in the American Conference Championship. UCF can clinch a spot in the conference championship with a win tomorrow. For SMU, they're 4-2. They beat Houston head-to-head, so if they win out, they would win the league. Memphis 3-3, but they play Houston and SMU, and all the tiebreakers favor Memphis. So if the Tigers win out, based on the way things worked out with the Houston win last night, Memphis would play in the conference championship. Tony Pollard gets the carry on 1st down, and you're going to see Pollard used in a variety of ways. Now he lines up in the slot. Teams don't want to kick to him anymore because he's so dangerous with those 6 career kick return touchdowns. So Memphis deploys him in a variety of ways. Taylor bounces off one defender, breaks another tackle, and then rumbles across the 35. It sets up 32.
Great example of size and strength when you have Patrick Taylor in the backfield. That should have been a tackle for loss, and he turned it into a positive run on second down. Puts him in a really good third and short situation.
Darrell Henderson told us last night that he and Taylor are the two-headed monster. They've combined for more than 5,000 career rushing yards.
It's a great 1-2 punch.
Pop Williams in motion. White will throw. He's got Magnifico for a first down. Joey Magnifico, former walk-on, fourth-year junior.
And that play is really an extension of the running game. Little play action, easy throw to the short side of the field to a big target in your tight end, and you keep the drive alive.
Henderson and Pollard in the backfield. Henderson, little stutter step. And up the middle to the 16-yard line, a gain of 5. Henderson averaging better than 9 yards per carry, 9.2.
Another great example of making a defender miss in your backfield. Turner Cox was there for the tackle for loss. He just made a miss.
Henderson gets it again. And brought down by Kyron Mitchell, the team's leading tackler. Senior from Houston. Recruited to SMU by June Jones. Has now played for Chad Morris and playing his final season for Sonny Dykes.
Well, it's been Mitchell and Moore from that linebacker position for the Mustangs. They've done a really good job of getting in and around the line of scrimmage and corralling Darrell Henderson.
So third down now for Memphis. Tigers need the 11. Late pressure. Henderson picked up the blitz. White escapes. Throws it into the end zone. And it's caught for a touchdown. Joey Magnifico. The name tells the story.
That was something else by Brady White to be able to find Magnifico. Wasn't the prettiest pass, but all you have to do is get it there. And Magnifico goes up and gets it at its highest point, gets the foot down. That's just a terrific job of tracking it in traffic, gets the right foot down, controls it. 6 points for Memphis. What a great job by White, escaping and finding his big tight end in the corner of the end zone.
PAT this time by Patterson is good. And a magnificent catch by Magnifico. Heritage Hall displays the proud history of SMU football, including the great Doak Walker. Now people hear that name and they think of the trophy, which goes to the best running back in college football. But Doak Walker played at SMU. And Roddy, what's that in your hand?
Well, I always wanted to win the Doak Walker Award, Anish, and I didn't. So this Doak Walker bobblehead that SMU is giving out tonight is going to have to suffice. But a guy who does have a chance to win the Doak Walker Award is playing this game right now. Darrell Henderson has been named a semifinalist and averaging 9 yards a carry with what he's done this season. I think he's got a really good shot to win it. It's a little bit better award than this bobblehead, but that is fantastic.
I'm with you. It's him, Jonathan Taylor of Wisconsin. And Taylor came into this game with 102 more yards than Henderson, but 70 more attempts. Cayman Freeman on first down. North-south runner going east-west. And able to muscle ahead for a gain of 4. Wyndham on the stop. Freeman coming off back-to-back 100-yard games. 3 touchdowns last week against UConn, 2 TDs the game before against Houston. Quarterback keeper, and Hicks. Not the prettiest dive forward, but effective, a gain of 7 and a first down.
I think Hicks needs to do that just enough to keep the Memphis edge of the defense honest. And that's an easy job of eyeballs go inside, quarterback keeps it on that zone read, and an easy first down.
They'll keep it on the ground. That is Braden West.
That's the type of play they can live with on first down. You get 4 or 5 yards, you can get lined up, you can get this offense in a little bit of rhythm for your quarterback, Ben Hicks.
SMU's been able to move the ball. They just have not been able to put up the points. Only a field goal. Becker, the tight end, motions. West bouncing off one of his linemen. Gets the edge and driven out of bounds. Third down.
It's important for SMU to find a way to get into the end zone on this drive. They've been assisted with penalties. They've had a couple of nice runs here on first and second down, but you have to find a way to convert on third down. This might be four-down territory for SMU, the way they've approached this football game from their coordinator, Rhett Lashley. He may be dialing up 2 plays here.
Lashley was at Auburn with Gus Malzahn last year at UConn. Crochet. First down. And he stepped out of bounds inside the 30. SMU thought they would be a pretty good running football team coming into the season. Injuries to the line and to the backfield changed that, but the last 2 weeks the rushing numbers have been there. 196 yards against Houston, 315 at UConn.
This is the 3rd straight week this offensive line has started together. That helps your running game.
They got Chad Pursley back today, a left tackle starter to begin this season. Number 57. They'll play with Bo Morris on that left side. Hicks on the quarterback keeper. Nice tackle in space by Curtis Akins, but we do get a flag.
Personal foul, face mask, defense number 7. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Well, Mike Norvell's going to talk to his team about the penalties at halftime.
You can't live with 7 in the first half. And it's just assisting this drive down the field. That's the 3rd penalty. If you count the special teams penalty, you have to have more discipline on defense. You just can't grab the face mask. That's twice now in a matter of a couple of plays where it's 30 yards.
And Roddy for SMU in the red zone again. They need to start capitalizing. 3's not going to be good enough in this kind of game.
Absolutely not. Not the way that Memphis has been able to move the ball. They had a missed field goal earlier, so you got to put the ball in the end zone if you're SMU.
Hicks, pressure, standing in. End zone for Robertson. Incomplete, second down. Couldn't quite get inbounds.
Ben Hicks needed 1 more second in the pocket, a clean pocket. He might be able to get this football out a second earlier, but what an effort of trying to toe tap. That's about an inch or 2 from 6 points.
Robertson lines up at the bottom of your screen now, matched up with T.J. Carter.
They may move this pocket towards the wide side. That's where Prochet is at.
Bell, the slot receiver. Hicks does move the pocket. Now looking for the throwback. Underneath the tight end. Becker has it jarred loose. And Memphis has it.
Rolling on the field is a catch. And a fumble recovered by the defense. First down.
Watch the helmet of 29 right on the football. That's Gonzalez. And underneath the pile is where Becker gets hurt.
And how about the play by Russell to snatch that
Unbelievable
ball?
by Russell. Swarming to the football on defense. That's what Chris Ball wanted to have happen tonight. He said the ball hasn't really been bouncing our way, but we're going to try to get on the football and cause some turnovers, and that's exactly what's happened. Backed up in your own end, you're thinking your very first down. That's what you want to accomplish here with little time before halftime.
Patrick Taylor in the backfield. White fakes to him. And going to the far side, it's Mashane Slade. Just his 7th catch of the season, first since September. Incomplete. Had a receiver open. It was Tony Pollard, and now it's 3rd down.
Brady would love to have that one back. Kind of pulled the string. He saw what he wanted, but he didn't trust the throw down the seam.
And you're in danger here, guys, of giving SMU the ball back with very little time having run off the clock. Still 2:09. If you don't get a first down here, SMU's going to have the ball back with plenty of time.
On the delay, Taylor stood up. Did he get out of the end zone? There was a flag down.
That looked like a safety to me.
And it is a safety.
Well, let's put that on the board. We've seen a little bit of everything. Davis gets credit for the safety for the Mustangs. And that's a strange call on third down with a delay in the backfield. You want your back going north and south. That's a draw play. Nowhere to go. Great penetration by the Mustangs front seven.
And John, Patrick Taylor in the backfield just realized that the walls were closing in on him a little too late. When you're backed up, you got to make that decision quick, get out of the end zone, and take what you get.
And so SMU, you're right.
They should get great field position, plenty of time.
And 3 timeouts.
That's right.
This one bounces. This could get interesting again. A little pushing and shoving. SMU does have the ball near midfield. And Memphis still leading by 2 despite 8 penalties for 99 yards in the first half. Ben Hicks under pressure, takes a hit, fires incomplete for Prochet.
This is a great example, Anish, when you have tempo teams that don't have a lot of success on the early downs. It's hit or miss. You get no rhythm. You have no synergy in your play calling. It's tough for the coordinators to get going because they don't know what to hang their hat on right now.
Hicks downfield, he's got Page. And the former high school quarterback with a first down, a gain of 19.
Best throw of the first half for Ben Hicks. That was on time and on target. It gets SMU inside the 35-yard line.
Meanwhile, DeMonte Coxie heading to the locker room for Memphis, their top wideout. Here's the blitz. Hicks downfield, Robertson incomplete.
Yeah, and Anish, we saw DeMonte Coxie get rolled up a little bit earlier in this game. We saw him walking to the locker room with a noticeable limp, likely just to get in ahead of the team so he can start to get some treatment, maybe get taped up again. We'll ask for an update at halftime, and we'll let you know what we find.
All right, thanks, Roddy.
That's the 3rd time Ben Hicks has missed a guy down the field, where if he puts a little air under the football, he's going to have a big lead going to halftime.
Four-man pressure. Hicks incomplete, wanted his running back covered well by Austin Hall.
That time the linebacker wins against a running back. That was a really good job by Austin Hall, running step for step with West down the rail.
This game began with a snap over the head of Ben Hicks. He was sacked on the next play. SMU somehow picked up a first down on that drive. Ended up kicking it away. There was a botched fake punt, a safety. Interception thrown by Memphis is Brady White.
Got to watch out for Bryce Huff putting in some pressure here.
Hicks has it knocked away. Able to fall on it. And that was on 3rd and long, so now it brings up 4th down. We come up on a minute to play. You've got the ball at the 37-yard line, and this is sort of no man's land. So what do you do if you're Sonny Dykes?
I think you go for it. Memphis hasn't shown the opportunity to really do anything, as they're going to take a timeout now.
Sackville's punt. And that looked like it went into the end zone.
They don't even have to snap this football. Run into the locker room up by 2.
We've seen bad things can happen when you snap the football.
That's right.
A 7-5 first half score.
That is the end of the second quarter.
In a critical game for both of these teams. And I guess if you're Mike Norvell, you say as poorly as we played, as sloppy as we were, they've got a 2-point lead. And for SMU, there was sloppiness there as well. And now some chippiness before halftime. 7-5, tabula rasa, clean slate for both of these teams, hopefully coming out of the locker room. Adnan and Joey have your halftime report after this. In the first 30 minutes, we watched something vaguely resembling football, and Memphis has a 7-5 lead at the half against SMU in a game both teams need to get to the American Conference Championship.
Hey, I'm John Konjemic.
John and Shroff. Nice to meet you.
Maybe we could start over and have a clean 30 minutes. What do you think?
Theater of the absurd in the first half. Samuel Beckett could not have written the type of script that we saw. Your glasses broke at halftime.
I stepped on my glasses. There's a lot of things that have gone wrong on the field. In the booth, it's starting to get bad as well. But we're going to hopefully improve that in the second half.
It was a comedy of errors for both teams in the first 30 minutes.
Well, it was back and forth. You know, you go down and you get field position. You miss a chip shot, 21-yard field goal. There were fumbles galore, turnovers, and penalties, really, that held back Memphis. You get a quarterback that catches his own pass. You get a safety on a draw play that you should never run this backed up in your own end. And, you know, it's just a comedy of errors with the passes, the fumbles, the turnovers, a safety, and the penalty yards must improve for Memphis if they're going to play a clean 30 minutes in the second half.
The folks out in the desert projected a point total of 75, 12 in the first half.
They're always right.
When these teams played, the final score 66-45.
Yes. I got a feeling with so much on the line for SMU and Memphis, I just think that the coaches had to have a heart-to-heart at halftime and say, guys, let's get it together for 2 quarters.
Sky kick and a chance for Tony Pollard, one of the most dangerous kick return men in all of college football. He's to the 20. Roddy Jones, are you okay?
I'm all right, and I talked to the coaches at halftime, and Sonny Dykes kind of looked like he needed a hug. I said, Coach, what did you think of that first half? He said, man, it was weird, wasn't it? I said, absolutely. But he pointed to the fact that his team's just got to make a play when you get down in the red zone. They got to pitch and catch because they got behind the chains a little bit. And then Mike Norvell didn't acknowledge the weirdness of the first half. He acknowledged the fact that his team has not been able to run the ball. He talked about that constantly. They got to come out and establish the running with Darrell Henderson in the backfield. I would expect for them to do that in the second half.
Darrell Henderson breaks free. Henderson off to the races, taken down inside the 30. John, you and I were talking during the break. If you're Memphis, why not just force feed the best player on the field and in this game?
He's your best option on every Friday night or Saturday afternoon. He's the best player on the field for Memphis. Why not? And that's explosive running by Darrell Henderson.
Henderson again, this time taken down for a loss. Darrell Henderson, the junior from a small town in Mississippi, Batesville. Population less than 8,000. He told us it's a place that humbles you.
It's a motivating factor for him. You know, we talked to him last night, does not want to go back. He wants to move forward, and he knows football is his vehicle to do so.
Talked about a strong upbringing. His parents kept him on the straight and narrow. White to throw, and he completes to Pollard for a first down. And we should mention to us, a lot of kids in Batesville drop out of high school, get into the wrong things, and Darrell at Memphis takes his time to pay it forward, volunteering in the community with at-risk youth as a mentor. Now his running mate, Patrick Taylor, gets the call. Taylor, big bruiser, 6'3", 220. He takes it to the 9, brought down by Christian Davis.
Nish, I talked a while ago about stacking positive plays together. You get a big run, you get a nice play action slant to Pollard, then you get a positive run on first down. That's the Memphis offense you're accustomed to seeing.
Tigers came into the game the 5th ranked rushing offense in the country. All the teams clustered around them, mostly option teams. Taylor breaks the tackle. Taylor into the end zone. That is power from the junior.
What a great example of strength inside the red zone and yards after first contact. Good arm tackle, break around the 5-yard line, breaks Mitchell's tackle around the 2, and then that 6'3" frame's able to stretch into the end zone.
That's the 11th rushing touchdown of the season for Patrick Taylor. PAT is good. Memphis leads by 9. The two-headed monster at work for Memphis. Darrell Henderson ripping off a long run to get the Tigers within striking distance. And then Tyler 2, Patrick Taylor 2. Robertson brings it out across the 25. Ben Hicks finds Tyler Page. And that story comes full circle with SMU because Ben Hicks has had to work on that.
That's right.
He was benched this year, partly for performance, but partly for body language, demeanor, the way he interacted with teammates.
And he's bounced back.
He has.
And his team has been better for it.
Hicks against a 3-man rush. His receiver Prochet fell down. 2nd and 10. And for Hicks, he took a lot of pride in what he invested into this program. Remember, a few years ago, Eric Dickerson, one of the all-time greats, was calling for SMU to shut down football. Well, Hicks became the starter later in 2016, 3-3 down the stretch. Positive momentum that carried into last year. SMU goes bowling. Hicks is putting up these big-time numbers. Freeman taken down from behind after a gain of 14. Joseph Dorcius prevented an even bigger play for Memphis.
Boy, you're exactly right. Dorcius, if it's not hustle from the line of scrimmage, that could go to the house.
Trips right now. Hicks going left. Robertson juggles it, catches it. Tackled by Wyndham, a gain of 8.
Guys, I think you're starting to see, because of SMU's commitment to the run game, you're starting to see more one-on-one on the outside for Prochet and Robertson.
And that tempo is allowing them to go at a rate that makes them feel comfortable on 1st and 2nd down.
There's Freeman. He's the short yardage power back and bullies forward for a 1st down. Kamen Freeman was a high school quarterback, Texarkana, Texas. Came to SMU as an athlete as he walks off the field. Braden West back in. West, the best receiver of the 3 backs the Mustangs deploy. West, left side, into the embrace of T.J. Carter, only a yard.
Really good job by Memphis of stringing out West to the sideline, because that play is designed to make it one cut and get up the field, and they're able to use that sideline as that 12th defender.
Now, this is also the part of the field, John, where SMU has been able to get to. Things have just stalled once they get inside the 40.
Need to find a way to finish here on this drive.
3 trips to the red zone, no touchdowns for SMU. Incomplete in the direction of Prochet, underthrown, and now another 3rd and long.
Consistency in the passing game has not been on the side of SMU tonight. It's been hit or miss. It's been anticipation with the ball on the mark, or a receiver fall down, maybe a drop pass or quarterback off the mark on 2nd or 3rd down that puts them in the situation where it's tough to call plays for Rhett Lashley that he has confidence in on 3rd and long.
SMU has not had 3 straight completions all night. Crochet motions. Hicks pumps, looking for Robertson, who makes the grab right at the sticks. And it will move the chains.
Good movement by Ben Hicks. He wanted to hang in the pocket, but he had to slide and get a window to find his receiver, Robertson, and he does. He slides to his right for the big completion on 3rd down.
Going quickly, and nothing going on for West. O'Brien Goodson right there to make the stop.
I would think if you get Prochet or Robertson on the outside and you have a feeling you can take one to the house here, you got to take a shot on 2nd down, 2nd or 3rd down if you get the right coverage.
Robertson up top, Prochet lined up at the bottom.
If you can hold the safety to the short side of the field, you've got your playmaker to the boundary in Prochet.
Looked like Memphis was bringing a safety blitz. Now the throw to Robertson is intercepted. Colton Cochran with the pick. He lost it. But Memphis will have the ball at their own 31. Another plus territory possession that goes awry for SMU.
And another bizarre play with these two football teams. It's an interception, a fumble, but again, the inability of SMU to finish in the red zone as they near the red zone. A bonus for Memphis and their defense.
Ben Hicks throwing an interception. It was Tito Wyndham, excuse me, who had the pick for Memphis. And then following the script of this game, of course, nothing is as you would think it is. Wyndham gets the pick and loses the football, but was able to recover.
Well, offensively, SMU has not been able to finish when they've crossed the Memphis 30-yard line, especially in the red zone. But you're right. You get the interception. It looked like his receiver, Robertson, did not come out of the break. When you're anticipating to throw to the field, that's a tough one on a quarterback.
Jake Hall tackles Darrell Henderson after a gain of 4.
Yeah, Ben Hicks was trying to time up that out route, and it looked like Robertson never came out of the break, and the first guy to break was the corner.
Back to the ground. Here's Patrick Taylor. Ahead for maybe a yard. So 3rd down now for Memphis. There's Darrell Henderson on the sideline.
Looks like he's in a little bit of difficulty as he took himself out of the game on that 2nd down.
Yeah, he was a little slow to come off the field, guys. He's been reaching for sort of that right side, that rib area. Keep an eye on him as this is a big 3rd down for Memphis.
In the Missouri game, Henderson only had 4 carries. A hamstring injury limited him. Drew Kaiser, the center, directing traffic. 1st down, Memphis.
Good hit by Patrick Nelson, but a better read, and the ball coming out on time for Memphis in their short passing game is what you like to see starting in this 2nd half.
Memphis now 6 of 12 on 3rd down. Taylor right up the middle, fighting for those extra yards and into Mustang territory.
Taylor is very difficult for one defender to take down. He's going to drag 2 or 3 blue jerseys with him, and that's a terrific gain on 1st down.
And this is Pollard right up the middle. He's got breakaway speed and brings this one inside the 30, a gain of 21 for Tony Pollard, who will line up everywhere in the slot, at receiver, in the backfield. And his versatility enhances the tempo for Memphis. You're going to see it here. Pollard again. Cuts it back inside, and a gain of a couple.
That's what makes him so valuable to this offense. He can line up at X or Z on the outside. He can line up in the slot. As we take a look at Henderson coming back into the game for the Tigers on offense. Good to see, because this is one guy that wants to be on the field just about every play offensively.
White will throw on 2nd down over the middle, and it's intercepted off the tip. A big return by Kevin Johnson to take it into Memphis territory.
Kevin Johnson grabs the tip
off the hands of the Memphis wide receiver. Looked like Mashane Slade couldn't come down with it, and this is where you miss Coxie. He's not in the game. Now that was Pollard.
That was Pollard trying to climb the ladder, and Johnson, he's the beneficiary. All he had to do was play right field. He puts his hands out, the ball drops from the sky, and then a great return to get the football in excellent field position for the Mustangs.
John, I don't think anybody wants to win this game.
Well, it's tough right now. I mean, you feel good if you're Memphis at 14.
Ben Hicks now on the move. Over the middle, that's juggled and dropped by Reggie Robertson. You can't make this stuff up.
And let's not forget that this is a short week that these guys are playing on. It's Friday night, and this late in the season, you're into your routine of playing on Saturday. Now, I'm not saying that's the excuse for all of these things, but it is a short week.
But Roddy, Memphis has played on Friday a ton.
But this late in the season, you typically don't get it. And Mike Norvell said it's about as late in the season as he's ever played on a Friday. So you're right. So I'm just trying to find some reason for what's going on.
Here's Prochet. He'll throw, and it's incomplete. Intended for Braden West. I just get the feeling we're in for some crazy kind of ending here.
I don't feel secure. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know it won't be on script. Something off script will win this game for one of these two teams.
Facing a 3rd and 10 here. Again, plus territory for SMU. They've had 4 drives that resulted in no points in Memphis territory. Hicks breaks a tackle. Will run for it, and Ben Hicks picks up the first down, a gain of 16.
What a great effort by Ben Hicks, not known for his legs. He looked like he wanted to throw the football a couple of times. He's going to step up into the pocket, which gets him away from the pass rush. 3 defenders from Memphis miss Hicks, and he's able to move the chains on 3rd and long.
Hicks incomplete in the direction of Galliard. Ben Hicks today, 20 out of 39, 201 yards and an interception.
It's amazing. We have 1:30 left to go in the 3rd quarter, and he has that many attempts. He may get into the 50s tonight.
And he's lucky he didn't have another interception on that one. Austin Hall read that from the very start, and had that ball been on target, I think it would have hit Austin Hall right between the 2 and the 5, and Memphis would have had another turnover.
Hall has turned in a great career with Memphis. Former walk-on, 30-plus career starts. Prochet makes the catch. Touchdown, SMU.
If Memphis is going to break on the out routes, let's run right by him, and that's exactly what James Prochet does. He gets away with a little bit of the offhand, but secures the football at the goal line for 6 points.
PAT attempt is good, and it's 14-12. So the bullpens haven't been so good here coming out of the locker room.
It's starting to even out, though. You know, you have to, that's a great play call, I believe. It was a good job by Rhett Lashley, the offensive coordinator. Memphis has been breaking on those out routes all night. And a quarterback that anticipates that, you got to be able to send, at some point, let's go by those guys. Let's get them out of their back pedal. Let's go right by them with our best outside threat, and that's Prochet. And that's a quarterback that knows, hey, finally something good happened to me on offense.
They mentioned there is that subtle messaging, that nonverbal communication that goes on between the lines.
That little nod or the wink or the head bob to say, you know what, it's time. You know, we've tried to throw these outs on these Memphis corners. They've been breaking before we have. So it's about time to put your foot on the gas, go by a corner, and it results in a touchdown.
The short kick again to keep it away from Pollard, who's got 6 kick return touchdowns in his career. Patrick Taylor in the driver's seat in the backfield. He gets the call, barrels across the 40, and a gain of 4 for the junior.
It may be more of the Patrick Taylor show as we go into the fourth quarter with that injury to Henderson. I know he came back in the last series, but it may be more of the bigger back getting the bulk of the carries as this game heads into the fourth quarter.
And it'll also keep Darrell Henderson fresh if he is able to come back late in the fourth and you want a finisher. He's not a bad one to have fresh.
That's right.
Brady White has an open receiver. It's Jones. And Jones into Memphis territory, or rather SMU territory, the 45.
Jones with the catch.
Third catch for Kadarian Jones, who only had 5 all season entering tonight.
Somebody has to pick up the slack for Coxie on the outside, so it's going to be multiple players at receiver.
Coxie got hurt in this game. Henderson banged up. Taylor, a nice pickup on first down. 2nd and 4 now in the final seconds of this third quarter. Critical game in the American Conference.
Well, Anish, Roddy, just what we thought we'd have tonight, right?
14-12.
14-12 heading to the fourth.
It's not even so much what the score is, it's how we've gotten here.
That's right.
To the fourth quarter we go. The winner of this game will be on the cusp of playing for a conference championship. SMU and Memphis trading scores in the third. A 2-point game as we go to the fourth. Start of the fourth quarter here at Gerald J. Ford Stadium on the campus of SMU. Mustangs trying to get fired up. Senior night. A chance to perhaps get to a conference championship with 2 wins, down 2 to start the fourth quarter. And for SMU, there is a all or nothing feel to the final 2 games. They win out, they play for a league title. They lose out, they don't even go to a bowl game.
Well, SMU needs to pick it up. They're 4-0 this season when leading after the third quarter, 1-5 when trailing.
Incomplete on 2nd down, intended for the tight end Magnifico. So 3rd down now for Memphis, 4 to go. Ball on the SMU 39-yard line, and it would not surprise me if this were 4-down territory.
You're right, and the Tigers really picked it up in the third quarter. The whole first half, only 184 total yards. The third quarter alone, they had 193. So if you can get a 3rd and 5 here, keep the momentum going, get a score, you feel like you have confidence heading into the final 15.
Taylor in at running back. White will throw. Looking for Jones, who makes the catch, brings it in, and moves the chains.
What a great adjustment on the perimeter by Jones. Talk about a hand catch. He just snagged it, took it away from the defender, Kevin Johnson, and now that type of play keeps that offense on the field, and more importantly, keeps that momentum on the Tigers' side.
Back to Taylor. Sprints up the middle, breaks the tackle. Taylor still on his feet, taken down after a gain of 16. When Darrell Henderson got hurt against Missouri, Taylor came in and ran for 115 yards. He's had a couple 100-yard games this season, more than capable. And you're right, John. The first guy has not brought him down tonight.
He's done a good job of carrying blue jerseys with him, and on the back-to-back runs, they're one more successful than the other, but you can tell he's always going to fall forward with that 6'3", 225-pound frame.
And that's the thing with these 2 running backs, both of them. They do it in different ways, but both of them get more yards than the play is blocked for. If you block for 1, they're getting 3 or 4. If you block for 10, they're going for 20.
Tigers need to get out and move the pocket here on 2nd down.
2 tight ends lined up to the right. Slade in motion. White, the screen, it's dropped by Taylor. They had a couple of terrific misdirection plays in their last game.
I think Brady White's going to have to come out possibly for a play here. This helmet comes off at the end of the play. You may see Memphis call a timeout,
Yeah,
get their quarterback back on the field.
Well, if you've ever studied for a history test and then shown up for a math exam, that's what this game feels like.
I've done
up
that.
is down, down is up. We are in the upside down. And Darrell Henderson, who does not wear 11, he wears 8. He is back into the game on a 3rd and goal for Memphis. Slade in motion. White will throw. Looking for 6, touchdown! Magnifico's 2nd touchdown of the game.
With all the weapons Memphis has at their disposal, you wouldn't think a tight end would play the biggest role in probably their biggest game of the season. But Magnifico twice, once in the corner of the end zone, now in the back of the end zone, finds room in the red zone for 6 points.
PAT is good by Patterson, and the challenge tonight, John, for Memphis has been a lot of their constants have not been that. Darrell Henderson has been banged up a couple of times. Only 13 carries for 70 yards. He came in averaging 9+ yards per carry.
Now can the defense for Memphis, who's been really good, their front 7 throughout the season has been really good, can they step up and try to continue what they've done in this second half, and that's slow down SMU in that offense?
Mustangs will run this out. Robertson tripped up inside the 10. I don't know how many times I've asked you, John, what was he thinking?
There were 10 people saying no and 1 person with the football, unfortunately for the Mustangs, that said, yes, I'm coming out with that.
Well, time it. 41st attempt for Hicks. He's got Prochet. 8th reception for Prochet, a conference leading 78 now on the season.
I think Prochet comes as advertised. You know, he's a guy that, strong receiver, not a real big guy, but can play inside and outside, and he's going to have to come up with some tough catches down the stretch with 12:53 left and counting in this game.
This one in the direction of Bell, incomplete. Last year when we were here, Chad Morris told us that his receivers could play at Clemson. We thought he was talking about Courtland Sutton and Trey Quinn. And when James Prochet's name came up, he said, no, Prochet too. Prochet's a guy that would play at Clemson. He's that kind of talent.
Well, he has that quick twitch type of route running ability that can get open in tight quarters. And he has the flat out speed to go by you. We saw that tonight.
On 2nd down, West makes the catch, and now in an ambush, and he won't escape.
There again, the pursuit of Memphis in that front 4, front 7. The play before, John Tate, the big guy in the middle at 6'4", 290 pounds. He was able to get in the backfield and then pursue on that quick lateral pass towards the SMU sideline.
I think when the Memphis coaches go back and look at that film, this defensive line's going to stand out in the way that they played. They played great in the run game, but they've also made plays out in space that could have broken for bigger ones.
Four-man pressure. Hicks goes down. Bryce Huff, one of the top sack artists in the American, his 2nd tonight. It's 4th down.
I like how Bryce Huff plays football. He is relentless, and he comes off the field. He comes off the ball with great pace. It only takes a couple steps to get depth, the same depth as the quarterback, and then he closes that net on Ben Hicks.
Sackville to punt it away. Fair catch is called for and made by Pop Williams near midfield. It's been a sad few days for the Memphis community. The basketball team lost Kareem Sameh Azab yesterday. Center from Egypt passed away from leukemia. Our thoughts with his family and the Tiger community. Meanwhile, Memphis bowl eligible for a school record 5th straight season, looking to make it 5 straight wins against SMU. Darrell Henderson back in the game. Two tight ends for Memphis. Anderson gets the call and carries to midfield for SMU tonight. The run game has not been there. The last 2 weeks, they were able to run the ball really well against UConn and Houston, but they've had games early in the season, 4 yards against North Texas, 36 against Tulane, 83 against UCF, 23 against a very good Cincinnati defense, only 40 tonight.
Pedestrian numbers on the ground, and a lot of those runs that intended to go in between the tackles are going sideline to sideline.
Play action. Magnifico, he's had a nice game. Only a yard, third down now. Trevor Denbo on the stop.
As poor as SMU has run the football offensively, Memphis needs to do a better job right now of being able to stay on the field and then run the football, because with 10:28 and counting, you want to be able to take this drive, take a couple minutes off the clock, and end up with points. It doesn't necessarily have to be a touchdown, but you'd like to get points out of this drive.
Taylor out of the backfield, a first down reception. And Memphis able to convert again on third downs. 10 of 16 now on third down.
Yeah, that was big right there. A big catch for Patrick Taylor, who dropped a screen earlier in the red zone. He comes back with a pass in the flat, secures it, gets the first down. Most importantly, keeps that offense on the field.
Taylor gets the call on first down, exploding through the secondary. Taylor takes it inside the 10. Yeah, he's more than thunder.
That's a big man coming with a high rate of speed. You don't want to get in his way. What a good job by the offensive line. Great crease on the right side. Good blocking by Woodard and Joseph and Kaiser off that right side that allow Taylor to spring and get into that second level inside the 10-yard line.
And now they bring in Joseph Dorsey as 94, a D lineman, as the fullback. White goes under center. Taylor following big number 94 and takes it inside the 2, 2nd and goal.
That's a big man coming in to block for another big man. You get Dorsey, who goes at 275, and Taylor behind him at around 225. That is tough to stop inside the 5-yard line. And Anish, the biggest difference in this second half has been the ability of Memphis to control the football and run the football. They're averaging close to 6 yards per carry and a total of 201 yards on the ground. On the other side, SMU really nothing to on the ground for them, only 40 yards, just barely averaging 2 yards on the ground.
It is to Taylor, and he waltzes in for his second touchdown.
That was too easy. The Tigers walk in, and Patrick Taylor, give him credit. Third down reception, big run, explosive run that gets into the second level, and then 6th play of the drive after 53 yards, he walks into the end zone for the 27-12 lead.
Now, even if Patterson makes this PAT, still a 2-possession game. The kick is good, 28-12, so SMU needs 2 touchdowns and a pair of 2-point conversions now to tie this up.
Well, Patrick Taylor made this look easy. Credit this offensive line on the drive. Good double team, really pushing blue jerseys into the end zone, and it's easy when you get to the outside and all you see is end zone.
And now SMU, which has been able to get into plus territory, but then things have stalled. And they still have time. Both of these teams play at a high tempo. They'll get the ball a few more times. They have to capitalize on their drives. Robertson wisely stays put this time.
Got to go with the 9th.
Then Hicks finds Robertson. Robertson has some running room. And takes it all the way inside the Memphis 20. So another red zone opportunity now for SMU.
Quick strike offense, that's what they were known for. Be able to run plays and be able to be explosive down the field. Ben Hicks with a terrific throw and a good run after catch by Robertson.
Cayman Freeman spun around. tackled for a loss of 2.
Every time SMU has tried to rely on their running game, it seems like they're coming up with a negative play. It gets to the point where you just have to kind of say, okay, Ben Hicks, you're the quarterback. Let's throw the football. Let's get it to Prochet. Let's find a creative way to get it to the slot receiver. Let's do something through the air and possibly scrap that running game.
Rhett Lashley, the offensive coordinator, has not had production from that unit. Under 40 rushing yards. Incomplete, intended for Bell. TJ Carter, 5 picks a season ago, broke it up. And now 3rd and goal.
I'd rather take that shot than go back to the zone read in the run game. That was a good play, both offensively and defensively. TJ Carter contested the catch and throw, and it was a good effort on the outside with the throw behind by Ben Hicks trying to get to Bell.
And guys, I think this is without a doubt 4-down territory. So if you're Ben Hicks, you're just thinking, let's get a completion and get some yardage. This does not have to be a shot in the end zone.
Robertson back in, top of your screen. Prochet over the middle. And that will help. It'll set up a 4th and goal now at the 1-yard line. And Roddy, do you trust the run game here?
No, I think you put the ball in the air. This Memphis defensive line has dominated all game up front. So I think you try and do something creative to free somebody up for Ben Hicks.
Well, I think you got to pick or a rub route to the top of your screen, the wide side of the field. You've got man-to-man coverage.
Prochet in the slot. They'll throw. Prochet open. Touchdown. And now you got to go for 2.
Really good job by Ben Hicks of hanging in the pocket after the play action. Motion opens up their playmaker, and James Prochet. He came from outside to in, still gets man coverage and wins to the inside.
Well, Memphis, I think, was thinking exactly what you said, John. They were thinking the pick that Prochet was going to go outside. He faked in and went in on the slant.
This is a big play here to make it a 1-possession game. Fade, end zone, incomplete. Carter broke it up. So SMU gets 6, but it's still a 2-possession game. Mustangs are down 10.
Great job by TJ Carter contesting that pass in the back of the end zone. But Prochet finds the end zone on the quick slant. Great move at the goal line, but you fail on the 2-point conversion. Still a lot of time for SMU with 6:14, but you have to make plays like this if you're going to win.
For Memphis, 6:14 to go in regulation. The winner of this game, all they have to do is win next week for a trip to the conference championship. If Memphis wins today and beats Houston, the Tigers will play for the league title. If SMU rallies tonight and then wins next week against Tulsa, the Mustangs will play for a league championship. SMU also looking to get bowl eligible. And if the Mustangs don't come back, not only will they be looking at a 5-6 record going into their final game, you look at a turn of events from having a chance to play for a league title to maybe missing the postseason altogether if you don't win next week. Pop Williams makes the catch, goes out of bounds. And that's one, if you catch that with 1 foot out of bounds, you get that at the 35.
Yeah, or you maybe let that one go. It looks like it was going to travel out of bounds.
Henderson gets the call. And taken down after a short gain. Onu on the tackle.
This is huge for this defense, for the Mustangs on this drive. If they can get a 3-and-out and get the football back, they've got 2 timeouts remaining, but the clock is winding at 5:53 and counting.
And John, to apply context, Henderson tonight, 15 carries, 75 yards, 5 yards a pop. That's pretty good.
Not
He's
close.
at 9.2. So for him, this is a down performance.
Right.
Taylor does not get much, so now 3rd and long, and a big play coming up for this SMU defense.
Pono Davis getting some penetration on 2nd down. This team is still fighting. They know what they're fighting for. We've been describing it all night. They have to win 2 games, but more important right now than this third down stop. They have to find a way either to create a turnover to shorten the field for their offense, get a defensive score, but most importantly, get off the field here on third down.
Henderson back in, and he is a threat out of the backfield as a receiver. He'll get it on the draw. And taken down right at the line of scrimmage by Richard Moore. Fourth down. The SMU defense giving this offense another chance.
They do their job. What a terrific set of downs for this Mustang defense. It was Davis on second down. Now you get Richard Moore, who's had an excellent game from the linebacker spot. Mitchell's had a really good game, but you force the punt and you get the timeout with 4:50 left to go.
Fair catch by Prochet. SMU will take over after a 48-yard punt by Adam Williams.
At the 28-yard line.
Hicks signals Galliard to move over. Hicks rolling to his right. Incomplete in the direction of Galliard. He had to throw that away.
That's really good coverage. Francis on the edge. He had the shallow route, and Wyndham had the deeper route. It was a high-low stretch to the wide side, but Memphis better on first down.
Second down. Dangerous throw, broken up and nearly intercepted. Wyndham almost had his second, and it's third down.
That's a long throw by Ben Hicks, but it would make it a lot easier if Prochet would have closed the distance and come back to the football. It seemed like the two defenders in gray jerseys attacked the football before Prochet did.
Hicks out of the backfield. It's juggled and caught by West, but he goes south, and it's fourth down and long.
Let's give Memphis credit. That's 3 downs in a row. They're flying. It looked like their hair on fire. They've covered everything SMU has tried to do offensively, and now on fourth down, that offense has to stay out there and see if they can convert.
Robertson lined up at the bottom of your screen. Prochet in the slot. Hicks has Prochet, takes a big hit, hangs on, and SMU converts on fourth down.
Go to the guy you can count on in big situations and in big games. That's James Prochet. Big time catch down the middle and takes a shot at the Carter.
Back to Prochet. And whistle down at the 40-yard line of Memphis, 18 more.
Next pass complete to Prochet at the 40.
That 3-by-1 formation has been a great formation for them because you either get one-on-one to the short side of the field or you can find that guy in the slot like they've done with Prochet.
Nobody open, and Hicks throws it away.
The one guy that can affect the pocket is Bryce Huff. And the offensive line for SMU's done a good job in obvious passing situations of keeping him away from Ben Hicks. That's the guy you have to watch out for. Short side of the field on the line of scrimmage, 55 in gray. He can affect the passing game.
Hicks under pressure. Flag down. Incomplete.
Holding, offense number 77. 10-yard penalty, second down.
That is Alon Ali, the redshirt freshman.
Obvious passing situations, it's difficult for offensive line. When you lose leverage or you miss with your hands, you're going to have to grab. And that time, SMU gets caught.
Yeah, especially when the play goes longer and longer and you have guys that are pretty mobile in the backfield like you were, John. Those offensive linemen, they have to block for a long time, and sometimes they get caught.
Let's see if Memphis decides to bring pressure. They'll rush 4. Clean pocket. Looking for Robertson. And he is ruled out of bounds. It'll set up a 3rd and 20.
That was a really good job by Carter. The corner and the safety maybe still down on the SMU sidelines of getting Robertson out of bounds. That safety comes from a long way.
That right side of the line has been a bit of a revolving door with injuries. 3rd and long. Pressure coming from Hall. Hicks trying to get away, and he can't. Sacked back at the 31, a loss of 13, and it's 4th and 38.
Austin Hall, that linebacker comes from the short side, and he was relentless all over Ben Hicks, and there was nowhere for Hicks to go. Pressure from the short side, no one picks up 25 in gray, and that's an easy sack for Austin Hall. Nowhere for Hicks to go.
SMU needs to get to the Memphis 40. Tigers drop everybody. Hicks flips it downfield. It's broken up. No flag. And Memphis will take over on downs. And now, more extracurriculars, the trash talking, the chippiness, which has been there all night, continuing. Josh Perry, a one-time Alabama commit, broke it up.
Well, credit Ben Hicks for keeping this play alive, but it sure did look like the Memphis defender got their account before the football did, and that was Josh Perry with the breakup. And you can see the reaction on the SMU sideline. Everybody was calling for pass interference, but the officials didn't see it their way. Well, let's give a little credit to Patrick Taylor. They did a really good job in the second half. 162 yards on the ground in the second half by the Memphis Tigers on offense. And that offensive line did a really good job of creating creases for the big fella to go downhill north and south.
Well, now the drama for Memphis will be, do they face Ed Oliver next week for Houston?
I don't think so.
There was the dust-up with Oliver and Major Applewhite last night. They put out statements to clarify, but whether Oliver plays or he doesn't, Memphis has one obstacle left, and that's the Houston Cougars. And if the Tigers take down the Cougars next week, Memphis will play in the conference championship. Meanwhile, SMU falls to 5-6. The Mustangs now need to win their regular season finale to go bowling for a second straight season. Patrick Taylor did the job on the ground. 111 yards, 2 TDs, and Memphis takes down SMU. The Tigers 1 win away from playing for a league title.